Hey there, guys. Just wanted to give you an overview of the AP exam for 2020 with remote schooling happening and eventually remote AP testing happening. I wanted to go over the changes that College Board has made with you so that way you know what to expect. It's not going to be a traditional exam. So I wanted to kind of update you guys with everything. So let's do this. Let's do it quick. This is the second time I'm recording because the last time it took over 20 minutes. So you know how I love to talk. The AP exam, Tuesday, May 12th at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's our time. So make sure that you guys are logged into the testing client that's going to be provided by College Board before 2 o'clock. I would recommend logging in by 1:30 to get set up. You know where everything is, you know what it's going to look like. The exam is going to be 50 minutes, including upload time. So it's going to be a very quick exam. Make sure that you're logged in by 1:30. If you're not logged in, you're losing out at that time. They do have a strict time limit for this. So my recommendation, get in there, get ready to go. Now, I know some of you have family obligations and work obligations. Please make sure that if you're working, that you put in for that time off. The afternoon of Tuesday, May 12th is for the AP exam. If you have family and they need you to babysit, please make sure you tell them, hey, I just need an hour and a half so I can take this AP exam. That's all I need. I want to make sure that I'm able to get this college credit. I need this time. Parents' jobs are very understanding if you let them know ahead of time, in my experience. So for the exam, you all have your Chromebooks. There's absolutely no reason why you should not be using your Chromebook for this exam. Please make sure that you have it charged before you take the test. Some of y'all are really bad about having your Chromebook charged. Make sure you do it the night before. Make sure you set a reminder on your phone. Make sure you have your parents remind you. Just have it charged. You can use an iPad tablet. You can use a desktop. No phones. Don't use your phone. You can technically log into the client, the testing client on your phone. Don't use it. Okay. If for whatever reason you're having problems with technology, please make sure that you email me or text me. I will put up my remind logins again. I will also put up my Google Voice phone number. Just if you have a problem with your technology, let me know ahead of time so I can figure something out. You can handwrite if for whatever reason your technology is not working. But two warnings about that. Warning number one, with the testing client, and it's probably going to be wonky on a phone, you're going to have to take a picture of the exam and upload it. If you choose to do that, you're going to have to make sure that the picture is clear. If it's not clear, you don't get any second chances and they probably won't rate it. Second, some of your guys' handwriting, oh Lord, I get it. Handwriting can be hard for some of us. If you know your handwriting is messy, just type it. Everybody should be typing it. There's no reason why we shouldn't be typing it. All right. Now, the exam format, there's 2 free response questions. Question 1, 25 minutes to type it, 5 minutes to upload it. It's going to have 2 stimuli on it that relate to the questions, and it's going to be 55% of the exam. Question number 2, it's only have 1 stimulus. You're only going to have 15 minutes to type it and 5 minutes to upload it. It's 45% of the exam. Chances are that each of the questions are going to cover multiple units. So you need to make sure that you're studying all of the units. It's not just going to cover one specific unit. All right. They're very strict on the time. If you run out of time, you don't get it uploaded, that's on you. College Board is not going to give second chances if you took the exam and you didn't get it uploaded in time. It's going to be very important that as you're taking your test, you're keeping track of time. They will have a timer up in the corner. Make sure you do not hide it. You do have the option, and I understand that a lot of us feel anxiety and pressure with the timer up there, but it's really important that you are managing your time and keeping that timer up. All right. Deal with the anxiety. That way you don't lose track of time. And I understand and I know that's hard to hear from me, but having that timer up is going to help you a lot more than putting it away and then losing track of time. Again, College Board is not going to cut slack when it comes to uploading this. So make sure you're paying attention. All right. Stimulus, you've seen these before. These are the maps, the charts, the graphs, the pictures. You've seen them on your exam. You'll see 3 of them all together, 2 for the first question, 1 for the second one. Chances are they will probably have you do a variety of applications. Now, the units that are being assessed, 1 through 5. All right. So everything up through the end of February, which I know is a long time ago, for the next 5 weeks, we will be reviewing 1 unit per week. Please make sure you're looking back at your notes. You're looking at your study guides. You're seeing what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, practicing those strengths, making those weaknesses into strengths. Now, the power verbs have changed. AP is going to be writing questions where you will be actively applying the information. So there's going to be no identify, there's going to be no define. Keep that in mind. They're not going to create this they're not going to create the test where you can just Google the answers. The answers are going to be applying the information. And chances are, if you choose to spend your time trying to Google those answers, you're going to run out of time. And again, that's going to be too bad, so sad if you don't get it done on time because they're not giving you second chances. So for describe, these are our, if we're following the ACE, which we all should be, are 2 to 3 sentences. Provide the relevant characteristics of a specified topic. You don't need to explain how it's that way or why it's that way. You just need to give those relevant characteristics. All right. The characteristics of Von Thunen are dairy is close to the city center while grain farming and ranching are further away. All right. There are 5 rings with the 5th ring being wilderness. Okay. Those would be your descriptions. Explain, provide information about how or why a relationship process, pattern, position, or outcome occurs using evidence and or reason. Answer the question, cite evidence to support it, explain how that evidence goes back to the answer. All right, because is going to be your best friend during this type of answer. Always use because. Always explain how, always explain why. Make sure that you're doing that. And then compare, or you might see contrast. Similarities or differences are being explained. The reason why these 2 languages are similar is because. An example of this is that. All right. Make sure that you're using your because. Now, for describe, you could probably get away with 2 sentences. For explain and compare contrast, you should be writing at least 3 sentences for each section. It's very important that you're doing this. Now, are you finding examples and applying and analyzing? Always use real world examples within the last 20 years. ACE format is going to help you, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. Just do it. All right. You're all capable of doing it. Please don't be lazy. This is the one time to not be lazy. Look for patterns in relationships, especially when you see the 2 stimuli one. Always look for patterns, always look for relationships. How do they interact with each other? How do they support each other? Why is that the case? All right. And sometimes you might have to predict outcomes. A result of these migration patterns is the impact that it has on the world is this. All right. Now, the exam is technically open. No. Obviously, because you're not sitting in a classroom, security is a little lighter, but be cautious if you choose to use notes. There's a strict time limit, and I've said this. This is the 3rd time I said this. If you do not submit on time, you lose that portion of the exam. If you email College Board and be like, well, I wasn't able to submit on time, they're going to be like, I don't know what to tell you. All right. Again, there are no identifier defined questions. The questions are constructed to apply material. You can't just find the answer online. If you try to find the answer, the information that relates to it, you're just wasting your time. You're going to have less time to write, less time to make good constructed answers, which means a lower score on the exam. All right. If you want to sacrifice looking up the answers in exchange for writing them and making them really good, that's on you. But keep in mind is that you risk losing those points. Can I phone a friend? No, you cannot. That's academic dishonesty. It's not a group test. It's an independent test. That's academic dishonesty. Cheating. You all know what cheating is. All right. Phoning a friend, sharing information on social media, on Instagram, Snapchat, yes, I know that you say, well, Snapchat messages disappear after 24 hours. Not on the cloud, they don't. All of that stuff is stored on a cloud. And if College Board needs to go subpoena Snapchat to get access to your messages on cloud, they will, and they'll find that evidence there. Do not put anything on social media relating to the exam. Don't share it with your friends. Don't say this is the question. Just don't do it. If your moral compass doesn't realize that cheating is wrong, just keep this in mind. College Board doesn't mess around. They don't play. They will invalidate your scores. They'll invalidate the scores of the juniors and seniors who took the AP exams and passed the last 2 years. They'll invalidate PSAT and SAT scores, which means that if you go to apply for college, you can't use those to get in, and you need to use them to get in. They'll also contact all the colleges that you plan to apply to and tell them not to let you in because you're a cheater. And colleges don't let in cheaters. They have a very strict guideline on academic dishonesty. Just don't do it. They have people who look through social media all day, every day, looking for signs of cheating around the exam. Last year, AP Psych students on the East Coast decided to tweet out to the West Coast, Alaska, Hawaii kids about what was on the exam. Guess what happened to them? Their exam scores were invalidated. They were banned from taking NAP, SAT, SAT testing in the future, and it really screwed themselves over for college and applying to college. Just don't do it. All right. You're going to have enough on your plate with trying to get this done in 25 minutes. You shouldn't be on the phone with your friends. You shouldn't be texting this. Please do not cheat. Second, I will be getting your free response questions back a few weeks after the exam. If I look through them and I see that you guys cheated, you will fail my class. Period. You'll get an F. I'm not playing. Just don't do it. All right. Now, studying. The next 5 weeks in class, we are going to be reviewing, but create a plan anyway. Make sure you know your strengths. Make sure you know your weaknesses. Make sure that you're ready to go with supplemental information to help you practice. Again, going back to your reading notes, the reading itself, the Quizlet will help. Knowing the big ideas in your study guides, there are a list of those big ideas, and then it's broken down into those essential topics and then essential knowledge. Know it. Quiz each other on it. All right. Teach your classmates. If you're like, Mr. Kane's always in a bad mood, I ain't messaging him or getting on Google chat with him, then ask your classmates and have them teach you something. Obviously, come to me first. I'm not saying that your classmates don't know it, but what I'm saying is that you probably should come to me because your classmates might not know it. All right. Ask me questions first. All right. Don't ask me a question at 1 a.m. I'm not going to be answering you. But during office hours, you can ask me questions if you don't understand a topic, and I will do my very best to help you. All right. Use the free resources that are out there. There's Quizlet, order an AP exam. There's online applications in the Google Store and the App Store on iPhone. Use all of that information to help you do your best on the exam. I'm going to have those AP Classroom progress checks open again. I will go ahead and add supplemental FRQs that you can do, but just practice. Practice is obviously the best way that we can get to close to perfect as we can. There's no reason why you shouldn't be practicing. All right. So if you have any other questions about the AP exam, just email me, text me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them for you. I know you don't want to hear it, but I do miss you guys. It's very frustrating and difficult because y'all are awesome. And I hate not being in the classroom with you guys because even though you can be buttheads, I still appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you all are doing fine and you're staying healthy. But otherwise, I will see you online for some remote learning.